Craig. I'm David Smoke. Mack Rhoades, Baylor Director of Athletics, usually Tuesday, but this week, Wednesday, and he joins us on the show this afternoon. Mack, I'll start with this. I saw the note that it's the largest, perhaps, student ticket distribution ever at McLean Stadium. It's a sellout. I mean, it should be, but anytime it is, I guess you should be pretty happy about it.
No, absolutely. And, obviously, I think as you said, it's one that we expected to sell out. And, just, again, proud of our students that, they're wanting to be there and part of the environment. We've talked about this, they're such a big part of the environment and what that feels like, looks like. And so we're going to have them, certainly, on the sidelines, but in the berm as well. And so it should be a lot of fun. So excited about that turnout. And again, as you mentioned, the most in the history of McLean Stadium.
Mack, this is the last game against Texas in football for the foreseeable future. It is a long-time rivalry that is going away, like conference realignment. I mean, we've been through all that, but now that it's here, what are your feelings on being present for the moment that something does go away and end?
Yeah, I think that just, in general, I think that's the hard part about all of the conference realignment stuff is that, there's some long-standing, matchups that meant a lot to the fans, right? Both institutions that are going away. And so that's part of the reality and day and time that we're living in. I don't know what the future holds, in terms of, playing Texas, especially, focused on football. It's, I think it's going to be hard to do in the near future, when, we play 9 conference games and then only have the opportunity for 3 non-conference games. Right now, the Big 12 scheduling model, you're mandated to play a 10th A5 opponent. And so, we've got those scheduled for at least, the next 5 years. And then just the fluidity of what the new scheduling model might look like. And we've talked about that. And, that's in process. One of the things that, at least I've talked about, you've got some conferences that are only playing 8 conference games, and then they're only needing to or having to play an additional, A5. So now they're only playing 9 A5s, and we're playing 10. How does that line up when we think about, the CFP playoff expansion going 4 to 12? So there's just a lot of fluidity right now in terms of football schedule. But we'll see where it lands and where it heads. But it'll be an interesting moment, an interesting feeling, just knowing that's going to be the last time we play them for at least the foreseeable near future.
Mack, last week the football team had to wait a little while, a couple-hour rain delay to finish that game against Long Island. It wasn't always pretty. Sometimes it was thrilling, but in the end they were able to just win a game. How just refreshing was that to be able to walk away from a game at McLean or just in general and be able to have a victory in the back pocket? And did you see some signs of energy and life?
Yeah, Craig, I appreciate the question. It was a weird game, weird cadence, right? I've been at Baylor 7 years, as you all know. I think that's the first, delay that I've ever experienced. And for many, that have experienced the delay, they were certainly talking about how this was the longest delay. But I was proud of the way the team handled it. I think we're making progress. We've had 19 players make their first, Baylor start in the first, 3 games. That's already more first-time Baylor starters in the last, 2 years combined. And so, I think, we're developing some depth, but we're also developing some really youthful young talent. I think those younger players are directly, that class is directly a result of the 2021, championship team and in those recruiting efforts. And so I think we've got a really talented group of young players. And so, I'm excited about that. Again, able to play a lot of different players. So, we gotta continue to get better, and Texas, will be an opportunity to do that.
Mack, it was a couple of weeks ago, former Baylor tight end Jordan Niver put up a note about he was trying to reach Walter Abercrombie about celebrating the 10th year anniversary of the 2013 Big 12 championship team. And I think I talked to a couple of different people, talked to Walter, but one of the things do you do one team at a time? Do you do 13, 14 together, whatever it might be? But I don't know if anything has been, I've not seen a reaction. I tried to call Jordan, but the numbers I had, both were disconnected. What would be the reason not to honor that team?
I think my first response, Smoke, are you sure it was disconnected, or he's just not answering your phone?
No, he probably blocked my number like you do.
All right. I just want to clarify.
Okay.
I appreciate the question. I think, the first thing, just for clarity, we believe, I think we strongly believe that the 2013 championship team should be recognized. Those 2 championships, both 13 and 14 during the Briles area, during the Briles era, should be recognized, and they will be recognized. I think for us, it's a timing issue, and right now, and I think people will know more here, in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But it's a timing issue for us that I can't speak into at this moment in time. But they both of those teams deserve to be recognized. They will be recognized. We have previously honored recognized individuals from those teams. I think about, certainly Bryce Petty and Seth Russell. They come to mind very, very quickly. I think Tevin Reese, Xavier Howard. I hate naming names because there may be a few that I'm missing out. We're gonna honor, some additional individuals from that era, from those teams. This season, I'm not giving the names because we make those public, week by week. We've got Seth Russell and Elliot, Coffee are affiliated with us as part of the radio game day production. So I just want our fan base to know that they deserve to be recognized, and they will be.
Is this something that because of that era or anything legal that it just needs to play itself out?
Yeah, and I appreciate that question, and it's one I think you know me well enough that I would answer if I could, but just can't speak to it right now.
Mack Rhoades, Baylor Director of Athletics, with us on 365 Sports. The Big 12 had their first game. Houston lost to TCU. There's a lot of the new teams, the infusion of the new teams being involved. Cincinnati, UCF, Brigham Young. Brigham Young got a nice win against Missouri. Is it not quite as when you announced the additions or even when July 1st came about, but is it kind of you have to focus on Texas, but kind of a nice that, okay, these games are actually now being played within the conference?
Yeah, no, it's nice. And certainly, following them, recognition of them. I think you mentioned BYU, Missouri. It was actually BYU at Arkansas. They had a really, really good come from behind, victory there. And so, I think those four, institutions are holding their own, if not more so. I think, they will have, I believe, a pretty, quick transition to elevating, themselves in terms of talent and ready to play, all season long, an A5 conference schedule. So it's cool to see them. It's cool to see them finally competing as a member of the Big 12.
On a somewhat similar note, Mac, and this is not exact because we don't know what the future beyond this season holds, but how much are you guys looking at Colorado and just the attention that they're getting, which obviously is Deion-driven, but the massive TV ratings they're pulling in? How much are you guys, looking at that and feeling good about the addition of the Buffaloes, knowing, of course, that, Deion's a big driver in this?
Yeah. Right now we look pretty smart. And again, we talked about this, Colorado stepping out on its own, away from the rest of the other members, right? Prior to even any TV deal presented, right? That they made that decision. And so that certainly means something to us and grateful. And, I don't know. I haven't had a lot of time to think about it, so this is probably off the cuff, but not sure that any one individual has captivated a college football audience like Deion has. It's a long season. We're 3 games in, and they've got some tough opponents coming up. The next one, Oregon. So we'll see where it all settles out, but I'm certainly happy for Rick George and for Colorado, and we obviously felt that they were going to be a great addition and a commitment to football, and that was that's a program that's had some success and has won a national championship, and so they have it in their DNA, and so again. Happy that they're joining our conference.
Mac, thank you very much. We'll see you Saturday.
Okay, see you Saturday.
Mack Rhoades, Baylor Director of Athletics, with us on 365 Sports. When